Hi everyone. This short video will take you through what our online 8-week course on culinary, based on culinary skills, uh, is, and we call it the Life Skills to Literacy program. It is essentially a literacy program that will use a particular life skill to bring in literacy skills for the child. So, what do we mean? First of all, when we say culinary skills are the content of this program. So, like the syllabus, like you have English or maths or you have science. So, this cooking is going to be the content, the course content. Yes, so it's going to be based on that, but it is not a cooking program. We are not trying to teach cooking or culinary skills alone. That is a small part of it. And so, no prerequisite knowledge of cooking or interest in cooking or um, you know is required. You could assist the child through the program for that part, and some interest in cooking or especially interest in food and eating will help so that the child has interest in the program. So the whole objective of this culinary skills program is to connect food and cooking with literacy. So if you want to know more how these L2L or life skills to literacy programs work, there's a short intro that I have recorded and uploaded, which I would have sent to you. So have a look at that. But I'm going to go over it in brief. My name is Akila, and I run the Amaze Charitable Trust. I'm the director, and these programs are curated by me and my team over the last 10 years, where we've been able to successfully help persons who are neurodiverse on the autism spectrum or related communication disorders, um, who have whatever level of disability, mild, moderate level of disability, to also gain literacy skills through these specially curated programs, which have nothing to do with directly with academics. So, what are we really meaning? What do we mean by literacy? By literacy, we are talking about them acquiring vocabulary. In cooking, you can have a number of nouns connected to the recipe, the ingredients, the utensils, the equipment. You're going to have verbs for all the actions you do, like cutting, grating, boiling, chopping, baking. So, and then you have adjectives. All the ingredients have a lot of attributes in terms of color, flavor, um, and size. For example, when you're cutting, you can talk about size, and and from there you can move to the child spelling, reading, forming sentences, comprehension. So we're connecting it all. It's the same progression of learning language, or in fact, even maths. You could even do data manipulation, money, measurement, time can be taught connected to cooking. For example, for a particular recipe, when you go shopping, you could you could look at quantities that you need, measurement in terms of weight or volume, and in terms of length when you're cutting, and then you could look at money, and when you calculate the bill or you tender the money. And also time concepts can be connected with the time required for a particular task, or connecting it to uh, the total time, the break, each task, how much time it requires, etc. So all this is connected back to the life skill, which is cooking, but the objective is to bring the literacy from the life skill, not just the life skill as a standalone. So it also, since we are doing it using digital worksheets, which are editable, so they are based on MS Office tools. So we look at them gaining the skills of using the computer, using the mouse, the navigation, the internet, of course, typing, but more than that, the tools in MS Office like highlighting, maybe changing the font size, maybe doing a spell check later on at a higher level. At the end of the 8 weeks, they'll have worksheets connecting them to, say, manipulating data in a table or creating their own PowerPoint, etc. So cooking prep is also something that we focus in the basic program because so this the recipes are more where they have to do a lot more of prep than spending time at the cooking. And we also connecting this whole thing to a very important concept of health and nutrition, where we connect each recipe to the ingredients, what nutritive values they have. Are they carbs? Are they more fat? How much of protein we're using, etc. We introduce these concepts along the way, connected to the healthy eating habits, the food pyramid, balanced diet, etc. So it's a whole holistic sort of um, program connecting the dots everywhere. And we found this approach to work very well with our neurodiverse individuals who process things more holistically. So I'm going to share the screen with you and take you through a few slides about the culinary skills curriculum, as well as share with you some of a sample of some of the worksheets that we'll be sharing and going through how the course will progress. So, like I said, in the culinary skills basic curriculum, we're looking at cooking, some amount of meal planning, shopping and money, nutrition, and a little bit of measurement. So, these are some of the recipes that we'll go through. Yeah. Uh, and uh, this is the intermediate skills program where we have a little more complicated uh, sort of cooking. Uh, Over there, you can see you have 2 or 3 items that are to be prepared and assembled together, and a number of variations. Whereas in the basic program, it is quite straightforward. There are 2 salads, 2 soups, 2 sandwiches, and 2 drinks. Yeah. So going to the what we'll share with you in terms of content, we'll be uh, having a live class where all the students are present once a week, where we will share with you, through with you the recipe for the week. Yeah, it is just a running through of what it is, some discussion, and online there'll be some interaction while we do this, so we know the students are able to interact, they're able to say use the Zoom tools, there is an annotate tool, they can circle live as we ask them to identify things. Also they can sort of type their answers on the chat box. So it also builds that group skill interaction, and this is once a week. So we'll be sharing with you initially the this recipe and steps, yeah, and some Q&A will go on I'm just showing you a sample of the first one, yeah. And once we've gone through the PPT, we will also demonstrate to you the related worksheets. So we were just showing you the coleslaw sandwich, right? Sandwich. So this is one of the worksheets. I'm not going to show you all of them. So here you can see the instruction here is very important. Highlight the labels for the vegetables and grocery items used for coleslaw sandwich and use the text highlight color. So this is the tool where you can highlight. And so did we use beans? No. Did we use pepper? Yes. Did we use carrot? Yes. So this way, the child is able to connect the ingredient that is used for the recipe, and actually we always recommend that you do the recipe, you make it for them, or they can do it with you, and then you come to the worksheet. So this way, they will actually know, they can connect an actual experience with the questions asked here. So once they have highlighted, suppose you use mayo, and you can use pasta seasoning, it's an optional item. etc., etc. So once they know, then they can also type out these words here like this. And so there is this is an exercise where they are learning so many skills together, right? It's not just coleslaw sandwich. They're also trying to recollect what are the ingredients, or they can copy, look at the PPT that we shared, and they can copy it from there. And then they also learning to highlight, and they're learning to type these words. So there's a whole lot of skills, and they this is a sort of a gestalt sort of learning that they go through, and we found this really effective for them to uh, retain and remember, and also sustain their interest and give them a mode of response that they are uh, comfortable with. It's not like testing them all the time sort of thing. So one other worksheet, this is very basic, and here they just have to drag and drop. So this will sort of help them to sort out things as vegetables and groceries. So they just have to click, drag and drop, click, drag and drop, click, drag and drop, click, drag and drop. So this is a simple thing, but then it helps them with the mouse skills. So we start with, so even if your child does not have mouse skills, you can start with this worksheet, and this you can, there are multiple worksheets at this level that will help the child to go through. So um, then we can go to worksheets where we are talking about, you know, them listening. So I'm not sure if I shared sound, so I'm going to stop share and reshare just for a minute. Yeah, clicking share sound. So here it is a listening comprehension exercise. So they have to listen to the audio and change the font color of the correct answer. So they have to listen to this audio which says,
Was the vegetables?
so what was that? Wash, right? Wash the vegetables. So they choose this and then go and change the font color like so. So this is what they have to do, and they do it for about 8 to 10 questions, and that will help them to understand, to listen to something and give an answer, and then also understand the changing of the font color using the tool on top here. Yeah. So multiple skills are worked on at the same time, like I said. So I'll just share a few more worksheets, not in any particular order. Yeah. I'm going back to the basic because we're going to just talk about the basic curriculum for today. So over here, there is a worksheet where they have to arrange the sentences in the correct order, the subject and predicate. So they have to read it. So it says, with mayonnaise, mix the chopped vegetables. So obviously, this is the first sentence. They just have to drag and drop it, or they could type it. If you're working on typing, you can change. That's why we're giving you editable worksheets. You can just go here and change um, the question itself to something else. Like, you can say type. So the parent or the teacher who's working with the child can actually change it according to the skills that the child needs to learn. So if mouse skills are already there and you prefer to have it as type, then you can change it to type, and they can type mix the chopped vegetables with mayonnaise. So this is based on the method here that they just went through, and so it will help them to understand the concept of what comes first in a sentence. So sentence creation is also worked on. So I'm just showing it for one or two recipes here. The first one is coleslaw sandwich, so I thought I'll start with that. There's also, for example, things like this where we are using a multiple choice. We call this a drop down box. So they need to read the sentence and say, we should dash the vegetables before we cook. So should we cut, peel, or wash? So wash. So a lot of concepts are reinforced as well as the child is able to answer very easily. And if you are really working on other modalities like orally answering or answering through avas or answering or by writing in a notebook, you can parallelly do that along with these worksheets, right? So you could create a tab. We'll be giving you a vocab list, so you can create those tabs on avas. Child can point the answer there even if they are not verbal, or they can also write the answer in their notebook if you're working on writing, or orally if you're working on them saying the right answer, so they can read all this and then orally give an answer and then learn to use the mouse to choose the right answer. So we grade the carrot for the sandwich. So there are questions like that, 7 to 8 questions for each worksheet. So we basically give about 10 worksheets per week. So one in a week, we'll be going over one recipe, and then we will be sharing with you 10 worksheets. So it gives you work to do for a week. So one day you'll be making that item, maybe the next day after the class. We have the classes on Tuesday. So Wednesday you can work on actually trying to make the item, or if you do not have time, you can push it to the weekend and you can go through the worksheets first and then make the item. It is up to you, right? So we will be sharing the worksheets on the very same day after the class is 5 to 6. By that evening or night, I'll be sending you an email with the worksheets, drive link, and we'll also be sharing with you. Um, Let me see if I can pull it up. So we'll be sharing with you the worksheets, and we'll also share with you the a small video which you can play, and they can refer whenever they are cooking. So this is a video you can store it. So you can pause the video and then you can say, okay, these are the ingredients. You can have it at the shop. You can have it in your kitchen, wherever you want. You can store this video on your phone and or the child's device, and they can access it to review the content. We also have it the method also as a PDF which you can print. So the steps are there. Yeah. And if you don't want, so you can laminate this at our center. We have laminated these sheets and we have the ingredients. This can be used to get the ingredients from the fridge or the kitchen, or use it at the grocery shop or the vegetable shop to pick up the ingredients. This also we use it laminated at our center. And we have a short recipe for those who can read and don't need the picture one. We have this. And in this, we have given the quantities for 4 people. So the measurements are also there. So if child is at higher level, you can use this. So lot of resources are also shared along with the worksheets, which we'll be sharing like this. So there are about 11 worksheets, in fact, for this uh, coleslaw sandwich. And then every week we'll be sharing. So we have the first week coleslaw, then pasta soup, and then we have corn cucumber salad, and then juice, and then again we go back to a sandwich, a soup, a salad, and a smoothie. So the first four are really easy. The next four are slightly more complicated. So let's go back and have a look at some more worksheets. Let me see what I had opened up for you. So this is a worksheet based on shopping. This is the last recipe, the dates with nuts and banana smoothie. So the thing that we want you to do is to simulate a shopping experience. You have the audio also. If the child is a auditory learner,
Move to grocery section. Pick up 250-gram dates, 1 packet.
so 250 grams of dates, one packet, or if they read, they can look at the shopping list here and do it. The next one is almonds, so they pick up almonds. So it's a fun simulation of shopping. And then you have the bill over here, and then they can pay the bill using the currency. Yeah. All right. So over here, they need to get 500 rupees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. then a 50 rupee, and then a 5 rupee. So they, you can ask them how much to do. You can use a calculator to figure it out, you know. So it's a fun thing, and at the same time, we are stimulating the learning, and you can do it in the real time also with the child. And uh, every time you go shopping, if you do it something like this, we take the shopping list, tell the child to pick up the items, take the bill, come back home, and you sort of analyze the bill and say what currencies did we give. So that itself will be a good experience for them. And then in real time also, if they are able to, you can share the currency and all that. And going back, let's look at the next worksheet. We also look, like I said, at nutrition. We would have taught them about what are carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals. This is the eighth week. So this is at a slightly higher level, if you can see. So we are going to ask them which food can we eat more of. So we are making them aware of the foods they should choose to eat. And we're looking at the color mapping here. The noodles are the brown zone, which is carbohydrates, and butter is in the orange zone, which is fat. So obviously, we can eat more of noodles than butter. Yeah. So we can only have a little slap of butter on whatever we eat. So again, here we have palak, which is green, and it's a mineral. And these are all things that have come from the recipe. These are items which are there in the recipes itself. Yeah. So they understand why we only add a little bit of oil or a little bit of butter and certain items that we eat, why some things are healthier than others. Yeah. So yeah. So it's not just about teaching them the food pyramid and what is a carbohydrate, but applying that in a functional skill of knowing that this thing is something I can eat more of. This thing is something I should restrict more of. When I'm cooking, I should have less of fats and sugars. And what is the proportion that is really healthy for me? So yeah, so that is one thing. And then let's look at another interesting worksheet where we're talking about calories. So some of the worksheets are in this format where it's the main worksheet is just the recipe. So the extra information is given in the worksheet itself. There's first a little part that it's a learning part. So it sort of builds comprehension that way. So they learn to take in information from a PowerPoint. So it talks about what are calories and what are calorie rich foods, etc. Then there's a little bit of a fill in the blanks where they need to type based on the inputs from here itself. Yeah. So that kind of we are moving towards comprehension over here. Yeah. And then I've opened up one more recipe. I think this was from the coleslaw where we are matching the utensil to the action. So we are looking at action words here. So you have peel the carrot, and then they learn the tool of insert, shape, and it says line tool. So they learn to match it using the computer. Yeah. So yeah, so that's great. Sorry, I moved the wrong things. So then insert, shape, and line tool, and I'm using the line tool as well as I'm understanding utensils, and I'm also learning words that are verbs which are in cooking. So yeah, insert, shapes, line tool, and chop. So this is another interesting worksheet. This was based on the coleslaw sandwich. I must have missed it out earlier. Yeah. So we also work on sentence creation. Earlier, we were looking at sentence where they were just dragging and dropping. So here we're giving them a picture and telling them to give us three words, and then, they can create sentences with it. So here we use, this is the picture. So the child may say peeler, steel, skin, or they may say carrot. That's fine. Whatever they say, they need to make a sentence each with each of them. So we've given some more pictures. So what do you look at this and feel? There is, for me, there's a lemon juice, yeah, squeeze. So with all those three words, lemon juice and squeeze, they need to make a sentence each. It need not be related to the recipe. It can say lemon is sour. I like to squeeze a stress ball, and I like apple juice. It can be something like that. So yeah, this is just creative sentence making, but the trigger is a picture from the recipe that we just covered. All right. And we also looked at table formatting, the other thing that I was talking about. So here we're saying insert a picture of 10 fruits or herbs and their features and which recipe you used it in. So we've given an example. You said orange and the name. So here we're looking at attribute teaching, the name, the color, the taste, and the recipe where it is used. So the function, feature, class, as we call it, we are connecting to the vocabulary that's been taught. So this mint and green, taste is fresh, and ampanna. So here we are saying use the tab feature on the keyboard within the last column to create a new row. So they learn to just create a new column, and then they have to now fill in the details. So they have to say three, and then think of a fruit that was used in the recipes. Maybe papaya was used. They'll have to change the font color, font size according to what is uh, in line with the other words here. So, and then they have to go and insert a picture. They can decide to insert a picture from internet or an online picture. So I'm going with an online picture. So I'm going to search and find papaya. So it is building an internet search skill. Yeah. And then, so maybe I choose this picture and I say insert. And then I have to learn to resize it so it doesn't mess up the table. Yeah. And then I am going to, oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to put the name over here. So I've said papaya. Yeah. Actually, I think raw papaya is used. So I'm giving an example which may not be. So color, if the child wants to go with orange, it's fine. If it's green, it's fine. And papaya is usually sweet. And then which recipe was it used? Maybe Thai salad. So this is the way we will be. Uh, they have to fill in this table. So it's a really interesting way to um, you know, document things and also learn table skills and adjectives all at the same time. So now I think you'll be getting an idea of what I mean, that they learn multiple skills through the same activity. Yeah. So here also, with the table format was introduced earlier. So you have things as carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, and they are supposed to in, uh, sort the ingredients by the food group. And the pictures, they are supposed to take it from the previous worksheet. So they need to open the previous worksheet and then bring in the pictures from there. So again, it means they move from this worksheet to this worksheet, and that's going to create another skill of using the shift key along with the tab key, etc., to move from two files. So there are a lot of computer skills also that they will learn. They may not know it, they don't need to know it. But because they'll encounter it, if you make them learn it at that point, it will make sense to them, is what I'm saying, because it's part of the work that they're doing. And this is the last one I'm going to show you. So here we are saying this is the method for the um, last date, nut, and banana um, smoothie. And here we are saying use spelling and grammar review feature. So we have look at review and spelling and grammar. And so from this, they need to choose the correct spelling, yeah, each time. And so this way they learn to edit a MS Word document. And here it says it's not always about choosing, right? There are two times the has come. So they need to understand why it's getting underlined with this red color. And here they need to remove the extra the. So you'll be teaching them a lot of grammar and spelling skills as they do this. And it's an easy way than just making them write the spelling 10 times, isn't it? So here, always the first answer may not be correct. And sometimes there are words like here, mixie is a very Indian word and it's not a part of the English vocabulary, but we're going to use it anyway. There may be some Indian words that we use while cooking, which we're going to keep with us, like tawa or mixie. And so over there, we're going to teach them to use ignore. Yeah. So this whole exercise will help them to understand the spelling and grammar tool. So I think that's the final mm, worksheet that I wanted to show you. And I think by now you would have got an idea of how these this program works. So it's not just about these 8 to 10 names that you see on the screen. There's a lot of skills that is built into it backwards. It's a very connected curriculum. It's skill focused. It's graded level of difficulty from the first week to the last week. The content is very relatable. The worksheets are interconnected using technology as a bridge. And even if they don't have any pre skills, it sort of jumpstarts their learning, literacy skills, using the life skills as the content. And it is for neurodiverse young adults, like I said, and it's our own indigenous program. We've been doing this for the last more than 2 years, and it has reached more than 100 people. And I believe it is bringing skills that are critical in the current age, which are making them ready for life. Thank you so much. If you're interested, do connect with me on WhatsApp to join the program. Bye bye.